Very brief introduction. I told all of you guys that I manage a record label called Stone's Throw in Los Angeles, and this man is the flagship artist on Stone's Throw. He does the lion's share of the work for us. I feel blessed to just work with him every day, so, you know, to be talking with him in front of all you guys is an honor again, and I think he has a lot of great things to say, do, and whatnot. I hope so. One or two things.
I don't even talk, you know what I'm saying?
That's true.
When y'all see me, I'm just like zoning Saturn and shit, you know what I'm saying? Basically.
Where were you born, Mr. Madlib?
Saturn.
Like Sun Ra?
That's my pops, basically. You know what I'm
Sun
saying?
Ra.
Sun RZA.
Your musical father.
Sun RZA. Y'all heard of Sun RZA? Sun Ra?
Where's my man who bought the record today?
Three people. Oh,
No,
then y'all ain't gonna know what I'm saying then.
someone bought the record today, matter of fact. Someone bought a Space is the Place, I think, today. Brazilian press. Oh, yeah. Everybody knows who Sun Ra is. So that's your musical father. Okay.
True.
And your first music you fell in love with?
Jazz. I was listening to jazz when I was 6 and 7 because my uncle's Jon Faddis. He played with Dizzy Gillespie and Roy Ayers and all them cats. And I basically got up in his record collection, stole all his joints. That's how I started making beats. That's why.
What year?
Started making beats in like 87. Got serious in 96.
96, but you were making beats for people before that, alcoholics and
I
all
got
that.
serious with the business in 96 with my stuff, you know.
But the first productions you did were actually released in the early 90s, the Alcoholics, right?
Yeah.
For all you guys that don't know the Alcoholics group on Loud Records, do you have anything? Any of those early Alcoholics joints? I think you were featured on their first 3 albums, right?
Something like that. Shit. Actually, I was playing that shit earlier. They heard it.
How many heard it? How many could differentiate? My man George.
I gotta dig. This like 50 joints. Just forget that one. Licks. Let's get on my thing. You know what I'm saying?
Loop Pack, independent hip hop group from Oxnard, Santa Barbara, California.
Oxnard area. Sorry.
No. Santa Barbara, Oxnard, California, a little farther south than Saturn.
Yeah.
Tell me about the Loop Pack, Otis.
Loop Pack's like the first group I grew up with. We started breakdancing in the 80s. You know, we went to school, 4th, 5th grade, 6th grade. We've been hanging ever since and been recording since late 80s.
Put out your first record in 95 or 96?
Yeah, my pops put out my first single on Craig Digger's Palace Records in 96. And that consisted of Loop Pack, Smee, Rome's, and Blackjack.
Ill Psych Move LP, EP. Your father was a musician too. He knew a little bit about the independent game, right?
Yeah, my pops had a few records out, independent records, arranged by H.B. Barnum, David Axelrod's homeboy. Yeah, he's still doing his thing, but you know how it goes.
I saw some of your dad's records selling for over $300 on the Northern Soul Circuit. Very notable soul vocalist from California, his father, Otis Jackson Jr. I don't know how many of y'all know David Axelrod. David Axelrod, famous composer, arranger, visionary, late 60s. When he found out that this was Otis Jackson's son, he about cried and hugged him to death. Got some serious fans. So Peanut Butter Wolf, guy who owns Stone's Throw, heard the Psych Move, signed you to a deal, you put out an album, right?
Yeah, I got mad albums.
But the first one was Loop Pack.
Yeah.
Sound pieces.
True.
Same people you just
I
told us
make
about.
an album in a day, so whatever.
Was it like that back then?
Yeah, it was worse back then, you know what I'm saying?
And they were all on cassette tapes.
Just like I'm doing at the hotel, making a beat tape on cassette.
Been spending his time while in Brazil making music saving it onto cassette, then destroying all of the original files. Got a question in the audience?
No, I just got something to say.
Please say it. How many of y'all remember this man, the funny man, cut chemist?
Hey, man, I got a roommate. I got a room with this guy, right? So we get into town, and I'm like all about Brazil. I'm like, man, let's go out there and check it out. This guy figures out, he grabs the CD player in the room, and like grabs a sampler, and like the professor from Gilligan's Island, like hooks up this whole like little studio, and he's been making beats, locking the door, boom, just, you know, everything. I'm just like, man, this dude is bugging. So I just wanted to add that if you guys can just picture, you know, his trip to Brazil has just been like him locked in a room making these beats, looking out the window, waving at these people across the street.
Waving at the ladies.
Woo! That dude is nuts. Salmao.
You want to play something from the first Loop Pack LP? Do you have something?
Nah, I got some Quas, though.
So then tell us about Quasimoto.
Quasimoto came after Loop Pack. Basically, I was in the studio on some mushrooms by myself, and I didn't have no MCs around. And when I rap, I don't like my voice anyway, so I wanted to try something different. Just locked myself in the studio, bugged out, just tried to speed my voice up. And people liked that more than my first album.
But you made that all on an 8-track cassette.
Oh, for sure. It don't matter what you record on, or what you use, basically. It's what you do.
So an entire album, the whole Quasimoto, The Unseen. Do we have a CD here?
It's Tascam 8-track.
The Tascam Porta Studio. And Spin Magazine, that was the
Cassette.
top 20 of the year in 2000. Was it? 2000. Spin Magazine, 8-track cassette. How much did it cost to record that?
About just for the shrooms, that's it.
50
I had
bucks.
to buy the shrooms.
This is a song from it.
Come on, B. Come on, B.
Come on, feet.
Cruise for me. Trouble ain't no place to be.
Come on, feet.
Do your thing. Oh, now.
You on the whitey game?
Come on, legs. Come on, run.
Y'all know.
So that's you, both voices.
Yeah.
2 characters. Production, scratching,
Yeah.
all you
Yep. Luckily,
at the house.
thanks to Ja.
Were you a DJ before you were an MC?
I'm a DJ. I'm not no MC.
That's a
think-
great answer. Where's
I
Cut
think-
Chemist? You love that answer. Please tell me you love that answer. What happened after Quasimoto? What'd you decide to do next?
I bought some instruments. Because, you know, I listened to all them records with Fender Rhodes and vibraphones and upright basses and stuff, so I wanted to see if I could get all that stuff and try to learn it and do my own thing, you know, try to do what they did, but in my own way. Back in the days, jazz music, you know.
So but first you had what, a Fender Rhodes?
Yeah, I bought a Fender Rhodes, and 2 weeks later, I had my first album.
How'd you make it? I mean, what did you do? What was the process involved in making this jazz music?
Studying the records that I like, and just sit there and do it, you know what I'm saying? Make yourself do it.
What year, like jazz music? You talking about the 50s jazz, 40s jazz, hard bop?
Like 60s and 70s,
So some artists would be.
but with the future twist to it, you know what I'm saying?
So I mean, like, what records were you trying to play over when you were trying to do your first covers?
Like Lonnie Liston Smith, Elvin Jones, all that black jazz stuff, Strata East, whatever. You know.
How many of y'all know Weldon Irvine, the name Weldon Irvine? Famous composer, arranger, jazz pianist, passed away just a little while ago. When Weldon Irvine was in California with Mos Def, because he was functioning as Mos Def's musical director, we were all hanging out with him. Of course, Madlib was working. And we played him some of the early Yesterday's New Quintet stuff, including a cover of one of Weldon's songs, a famous song called Deja Vu. And he said, "Who's doing this?" And I said, "Well, Madlib is." He said, no, he's not doing that. I said, "Yes, he is." He's like, no, he's lying to you. There's no way he can do this. You know, I know this guy. He's a rapper. You know, he produces hip-hop beats. He can't be fucking around doing this. Not in 2 months. This is kind of advanced. After about 2 hours of us playing him his music that he'd been working on for 2 months, he said, I've just got to look this guy in the eyes and have him tell me that he taught himself how to do this. Do you have any examples of any of that stuff?
Yep. This is a song for him when he passed. I did a whole album for that cat. Yeah, that type of shit.
What's that one called?
Time.
Now, those are all samples, the drums and all that stuff?
Actually, there's a bass loop under that, and I played upright too over that, but everything else is live.
So you played the drums
One mic.
and upright bass and all those keyboards and everything. How do you record this stuff? The Yesterday's New Quintet, that's what you call the group, right? How do you record it?
Just first I get the drums, you know. You got to get the drums first. After that, it's whatever. I just sit down. You know me, 15 minutes, I'm done. Next
What
song.
machine do you use? What machine do you
For
use?
my jazz?
I mean, you have to record it somehow.
Oh, just a little 8-track board.
Digital, or are you still doing cassettes?
Both.
Cassettes for some stuff?
I ain't abandoning the analog.
Right on.
Yep.
So when you do sample, when you do sample stuff, what kind of sample are you using nowadays?
My homie.
What exactly is that?
You could do any type of music on this. Right here.
Is it?
Yep. $200.
$200. You made all that with this? Okay. So
All my hip hop stuff.
is that a Boss Doctor sample? Or is that a 303?
303. Like a little cheaper, you know, whatever, cheap.
Doctor sample,
anybody could do
SP303.
it. I'm telling you, you just have to use your brain. Thoughts.
Do you still use the SP1200?
SP, MP, and mainly that.
You haven't given up hip hop completely, though. You're still producing hip hop tracks, doing remixes.
Basically, when I go to the next style I do, I still have the stuff that I did back then. So it's always gonna be the same, but I'm always progressed too.
So you're working on some hip hop stuff now.
I'm working on new hip hop, new jazz, reggae, soul, soundtracks. Trying to do some scores.
Yeah, JD and MF Doom, two people you're working with right now. Y'all know the names JD, Slum Village and all that. MF Doom used to be known as Zevlev X, KMD. You got anything new that we can hear? Maybe something you did with MF Doom?
It's kind of raw.
You recorded all this with the 303 and digital board, small little digital board?
True.
Skip through a few?
Yeah.
Listening to music while stoned is a whole new world. Most guys consider its importance second only to sex. And grass will change your music life for the better.
Soon as you start sleeping, catching you off guard. We rhythm now, huh?
If you'll all gather close around the phonograph.
That thing.
Quas, when he really hits star mode, never will he boost loose feelings with the barcode, or take a whole carload on a wasted trip, or sit wide out lace tip from tip with yip. Some rather baggage other like they cracks and vows. Catch a tag, roll a bag of swag in a black and mouth. You twist optimal, just the raw leaf part. The list top go, bust before beef start. At the stop and go mart, acting like a spirit host done it. Yo, Doom nominated for the best role L's, and they wondered how he dealt with stress so well. Wild guess, you could say he stays sedated. Sauce, it is.
Weird shit.
MF Doom. Anything else in that you want to play?
Some live shit.
This is you playing all the instruments?
With a bass loop, you know, a little bass loop on it.
All that really matters is if your rhymes was ill. Girl, that's all that really matters to me. Oh, baby. Looks like it's going to be a great day today. To get some fresh air like a stray on a straightaway. Hey, you, got a light now, a Bud Light. Early in the morning, face crud from like a mud fight. Looky here, it's just the way the cookie tear. Prepare to get hurt and mangled like Kurt Angle, rookie year. The rocket scientist with the pocket wine list. Some even say he might need some psychiatrist. Doom, are you pondering what I'm pondering? Yes, why would the darn thing be wandering? She's like a foundling, barely worth fondling. My posse's on Broadway like Mama, I want to sing.
Yep.
Very nice.
Cool.
Y'all like what you're hearing?
Maybe. Thank you.
And you recorded all that with one microphone at the house for basically, what, $1.50 maybe, whatever it costs to buy discs?
For sure.
And that's going to be released, you know, major label, as major as we can get it. Probably sell 30, 40,000 copies of that, and the recording costs are $0. So anybody out there that thinks you have to go to a studio, I mean, you're doing all that at the house with minimal equipment. You have been
catch
forever.
me at no big studio, homie.
No.
Nope.
I can verify that one. Not even a $50 an hour studio.
I'll do it at home, where I'm peaceful and relaxed and, you know, cool.
How about some of this JD stuff? You have anything there? You rapping on anything?
Yeah. Thank you. Wow. 5 claps. I done caught the claps. One more cut.
Very mysterious matter.
Page 498.
Hey yo, we shine like 10 rays. I got 357 ways. But yo, we come in peace. And tell them niggas playing tough, front and bluff. The main reason niggas be getting snuffed, so smoking chalk top. You know I keep it raw, smoking on. That way, Madlib, beat conductor. It's just a description. Yo.
Very nice.
Thank you.
So that's that. Now, you got to explain something, because weren't those vocals and all those cuts recorded on an 8-track cassette, and then you flew them over the
I still
beat?
got to record them better. It's the rough draft, but basically, you know.
Sounded pretty good to
basic.
me. So you recorded all that, flew it over the track. That's the JD stuff. Anything else you're working on?
Got some weird shit. So, some live shit. Some Azimuth. Yeah.
You said that's Azimuth? Azimuth?
Azimuth is from out here. Who knows Azimuth, Azimuth? Man, y'all better get hip. I ain't from here, I know that. Dope music from here. And they still doing it.
And you're going to be working with
I
Brian.
want to be like them, still doing it.
You're going to be with the
40
drummer,
years
right?
later.
At the Keeping Time thing?
We gonna do something.
So how many pseudonyms do you have? Because you're doing all these projects under different names.
I don't know, there's gonna be more. I don't know. It's gonna be like 20 more.
Are you nervous that people might not catch on that it's you doing this stuff, so the fans
Good,
you made
that's
with
good.
one album
That's what I want.
aren't going to follow you to the next?
I want them to think it's somebody else.
Yeah. You made a bunch of names up for yesterday's new quintet. Ahmad
But
Miller.
people still end up finding out though.
Hey. I heard about a guy named DJ Rel doing broken beat stuff.
Thanks to, you know what I'm saying? Thanks to these cats.
Tony and all them West London guys. So you'll be back here on Wednesday, working out with one of the samplers in the studio here.
Yeah, if anybody want to see how I do this, I'll show you in like 10 minutes how to, you know what I'm saying?
Cut chemist first in line. Questions? I guess we should open it up right now. Anybody have any questions? Pass the microphone out.
So on the Azimuth track, were you playing drums live? Was everything live on that one?
Yeah, everything was live.
Damn.
Slapping the bass like I'm from the 80s.
And now when you play the drums though, do you play the drums on something and then sample them so they're, or do you just play the whole? You play the whole thing live all the way through and then you lay everything on top of that.
Yes.
So that's your foundation track is the drums.
Yes, sir.
Anyone else? Any questions for Madlib before we let him get out of here? Fred?
You are talking about cost of the studio. You're saying it's costing nothing, but it's necessary to have a good studio as well. I mean, at the end, isn't it?
Not for us. We've been doing just fine. We don't really pay much. I mean, we might pay $50 an hour for mastering somewhere with Pro Tools. Pretty much everything's recorded at the house. The whole MF Doom project is going to be recorded at the house. The JD stuff is recorded at the house. Everything you've heard, pretty much, with the exception of the Loop Pack album, has been recorded, you know, for free.
Bedroom style.
Yeah, cheap boards. And, you know, we try to do our best to make it presentable. I mean, and
I
those
just
of you
want
that
it
know our
raw.
stuff, I mean, you've heard our music. You can play it in clubs. I heard my man Primo playing When I'm on the Mic out. Sounded pretty good to me.
But having a real proper mix in a quite big table, You don't think it would bring more to the music? I mean,
Probably, but I'm not even on that tip. I'm just trying to do it and go to the next. That's just something I did that day, and then I'm going to the next thing because I don't have time to be running to a studio. Just do that real quick, put it on that, and it's cool. You know what I'm saying?
You know, but that's a good point, though, that you made, because ultimately, and I can just answer this really quickly because, you know, I'm there trying to mix all this stuff. If he records something in a day, chances are by that evening, it's all been erased. He makes one CD, and if we're lucky enough to know that he's made it, we'll make dubs for ourselves. Sometimes hundreds of songs are lost because the discs just get thrown around.
Because I'm just
lost.
rehearsing, you know what I'm saying?
And because,
I'm looking
you know,
at it as rehearsal.
He just makes the music and mixes it to his specifications and moves on. So it's up to us to pick what sounds good enough, master that, and put it out. In the case of some, we mix it down, but for the most part, none of it's mixed down.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's mixed down, but just mixed down at the house.
My mix.
His mix. Question back there.
What are your influences? What do you
far as
listen to?
Music.
Everything?
King Tubby, John Coltrane, Ornette Coleman, Iron Butterfly,
How about hip hop, guys?
Marcos Valle. How you say his name? Marcos Valle. Hip hop wise, Ultramagnetic MCs, Rakim. That's about it. I mean, there's a gang of influences, but it's too many. Like,
Yeah.
that's why my music always changes because I always get influenced
Have you
by
listened to
different people.
Have you listened to some experimental stuff from Warp, like Square Pusher, Aphex Twin?
Yeah,
Cool.
I could do that
Cool.
too.
You rock, man.
Like, just try to do every type of music so you connect with everybody.
Hey, Madlib, are you using, besides the daughter sample, are you using like a drum machine or something like that, or you pretty much acoustic?
That is a drum machine.
No, but besides that one, no.
I use an SP1200 and an MPC sometimes.
Anything acoustic, like a bass circuit? Like
I have an acoustic upright bass. I have electric basses, vibraphone, Fender Rhodes, ARPs, drums, guitars, whatever. Percussion. Buy some percussion today.
Yo, I have two questions. What speakers do you use in your house to mix it up? Just about it. And do you know Kenny Dixon Jr.'s music? Moody Man from Detroit, kind of deep house. Theo Parrish, all these guys. Do you like it?
Yeah.
Because it really reminds me your vibes.
Yeah, that's all good. I like all of it. Not all of it, but some of that, you said.
Okay.
George, did you have a question? I thought I saw your hand up earlier. There's the mic. It's coming.
Just gonna ask about effects. What kind of effects do you use?
Phaser,
that
tremolo, fuzz, wah, octave, equalizer, slicer, ring mode, tape echo, chorus, flanger, and reverb.
They're all there?
Mainly the wah wah. You know.
Cool.
It's the homie. Get me drunk.
How do you define as keeping it real? How do you keep
I don't define that. I just do what I do. Yeah. That word is so played out. I don't even. So many definitions. Just keep it real myself, I guess. I don't know.
Anyone else? Oh, Simba?
Hello.
Hello.
When you are recording the drums first, do you use any kind of metronome or something like that?
In my head, yeah, the metronome in my head.
And when you put stuff on it, do you?
That's why some of that stuff is kind of offbeat, but that's how I like my stuff. Like
do you use sequencers or just the pads on the sampler?
On this?
It's got pads?
Yeah. Sometimes I do it live, sometimes I sequence. But I usually like to do human time, you know what I'm saying? sloppy.
Hello. Do you use sequencer on the live drums?
No.
I mean.
I play it live all the way through, and then.
Yeah, but you record the drums and then you put a sequencer track on it.
Record the drums. Go to the next track and record the bass. Go to the next. I don't use computers. I'm a caveman.
Okay. Thank you.
The question was, is there an LP coming out of all your live stuff?
Is there?
I hope.
Actually, there's one out. You mean some new stuff, or you have the yesterday's new Quintet, right? First album. Oh yeah, we in Brazil.
The first album, Angles Without Edges, is what you just held up. That's a lot of drum programming, actually, with you playing all the instruments on top of it.
It's more hip-hop based, yeah.
And then there's the Stevie Wonder, Y&Q plays Stevie Wonder, which is a mixture of live drumming and sampling. So 2 projects that are out now. And what's that?
What about Stevie Wonder?
The Stevie Wonder?
Cover version?
Yeah, it's cover, right?
Like a whole album of Stevie Wonder tracks, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's one of my favorites, Stevie.
You got any reggae productions there to show us?
No, I didn't bring any.
No?
But I just finished the mix record for Trojan Antidote, where I'd put it's like 68 to like 80 or something like that, just all types of reggae and stuff. Roots, ska, all that.
It's the Bomb Shelter mix or something like that.
There you go.
Okay.
But yeah, I'll be doing some live stuff soon too, though.
Here?
Hopefully, I don't know. Wait, am I?
Okay.
Look it up.
Anyone else?
I want to do a show out here.
Hiya. I find it incredible. You said you picked up all the live instruments that you play. You said you picked it up in no time. Do you think that's to do with your father? You know, yeah?
Probably, yeah. But I didn't know any of that before I stepped to it. I was like anybody else. But then, I started just doing what I had to do. Just doing it 20 hours a day, so discipline. Let me see. I ain't that great. I'm not a soloist, but I could put some stuff together. Like Fender Rhodes, vibraphone, electric bass, kalimba, arps. Anything probably you put in front of me, I'll just challenge myself.
Violin?
No horns. I can't play any horns, though.
I think I heard you try to play a trumpet once.
Sound like somebody dying. Crazy. I could sing through the trumpet, though.
You're a DJing here, right? Zay, he's DJing. Where's he DJing? Hold on a second. Tell the microphone.
We're talking about we're going to have a party at Mood Club on Tuesday. Hope see what we're gonna do there. We're planning something.
What's that club called again? Mood. Same club Cut Chemist played at on Tuesday. Madlib
Yeah, y'all
will be
missed.
there.
He was ripping there.
You were ripping it.
Is he
Mood Club?
Is he going to do some live stuff over there?
DJ, right?
Nah, I'm just spinning some records. I don't know. Maybe, so we'll see what happens. Mainly spin some records and bust some rhymes or something, Some lyrics.
So next Wednesday, everybody, if you want to come hang out, he'll be in the studio most of the afternoon. Emma?
Yes.
Of singing and kind of like doing a proper
Nah,
album
my
of
man is right
vocals.
here. Nah, I'm not. Whoa.
But what's your singing voice like?
Want me to do it? No, I'm playing. Nah, it's not good. It's not good.
Matt, You say that you don't use computers, and how you take your music from your home studio for the mastering?
I do all that. No peanut butter wolf.
And what's impossible to do in the Dr. sample, technically? Like long samples?
Oh, it has like 10, 15 minutes on it. Gang of effects. You have like beat playing, another one, you know. It's
And
just
you-
like
and
MPC,
you use
or
this
it's
with
just like
other
anything
machines?
else. It's just small, so people are like, you know.
It's with the SP linked.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sequence a keyboard can sequence.
Probably, but I don't do all that MIDI, all that, whatever. Yeah.
Cool. Thanks.
The homie.
Have you done a live act as a Quasimoto and a live act as Yesterday News Quintet?
Yeah,
what
I
did
tried
you
to
do if you tried to do a proper live of every project?
For the yesterdays, I haven't put a band together yet. I need a band to do that. They could play how I want it to sound, and that hasn't happened yet. But it's in the works. As far as Quasimoto, I tried to do that, and the sound man was using effects, so the effects don't always work properly. So when I recorded the album, I didn't use effects. I just sped up the tape. So I went out there and did my first Quasimoto show, and my voice was regular in a crazy suit, like a space, you know how Quas looks. That's the suit I came out in. And it was just crazy. Most embarrassing time of my life, you know what I'm saying?